Morning, everyone. This is Sybil, your skin fitness expert. I am coming to you in this live feed on YouTube. If you're watching this in the replay, hi from Los Angeles. I'm talking today about what to pack in your skin care routine when you're traveling. If you haven't watched me before, I did talk previously about how to pack those skincare products. But today I'm going to be talking about what I think are essentials for when you are traveling. So let's talk about how to really get your skincare down so that you can really just get it down to the smallest amount of product as humanly possible when traveling. All right, so I'm going to start with kind of the basics and grow out from there. So the number one thing is cleansing. So when I travel, I bring something called a cleansing cloth, which is also Jane Iredale's Magic Mitt. Okay, it looks like this. It's a little cloth like that. And this you can use just water on, and it wipes your face. I find that it's one of the best things because once it's cleansed, once it's washed, you can just put it off to the side, let it dry, and it's finished. You don't have to put any soap on it. It's just water, wash your face, let it dry, and go. And it's fantastic for that. All right. If you do need a cleanser, little tiny bottle, you can just refill it with your big bottle. You just put it into a small bottle and you're ready to go. So that's something I like to do. All right. So the next thing I like to make sure that I have is I like to make sure I have little tiny containers for whatever I've got going on. So what do I like to bring? I like to make sure that I have a serum. So some kind of hyaluronic acid serum is best. I like to make sure that it's water-based because it can go under anything else I'm using. It can go under a mask, it can go into another product, but something that I could like put on, I could just keep putting on if I need to. If I'm in a dry climate, if I'm in a humid climate, I can use it instead of a heavier moisturizer. So I like something that's a light serum, because when you're traveling, sometimes you don't know what the weather is going to be like. When you live in a place, you're like, oh, I know what the weather is going to be like. When you travel, you don't always know what that weather is going to be like. So when you have a water-based hyaluronic acid serum, and something kind of basic, you know that you're like, I can just put this on humid, I can use it as just my basic serum, I can put it under a sunscreen, or I can continue to use it under something heavier to boost that hydration. So that's something I like to carry. The next thing I like to have is something that's my moisturizer, something that might be a little bit heavier, not heavy, but something a little bit heavier that I can use these together when it's dry, or I can use it by itself if it's not dry, because once again, you never know what the weather is going to be like. So let's say that I'm in New York in the summer right now, crazy humid, disgustingly humid. All right, I might use this and just a sunscreen. But if I'm in the desert of California, where it's like really hot and like dry, Santa Ana winds, I might use them together. All right. And that's something you kind of have to know, or you have to ask your esthetician about, but you might get to know your skincare. If you're like, I'm still feeling dry, you can be like, I started with this, I still feel dry, I add this back on. I marry them together. All right. So that's something I will do. All right. The next thing I like to make sure I have with me is I like to make sure, because I do tend to get spots. I don't know about you when you travel, but when I travel, I get extra breakout. Okay, I just get extra breakout. I like to make sure that I have some kind of moisturizing based acne clearing product. So I have one called Clearing. It is a moisturizing based acne clearing product. So it doesn't like super dry, it doesn't make me crusty and gross, but it acts as a kind of a moisturizer, so it helps those like crusty spots clear up, but it also helps if they're scabby, them heal and not get gross. So I use something like this because once again, I could use these together, I could add this together. So that's something that I like to do and have, and I can use it as a spot treatment by itself at night, in the morning, whatever. I could use it alone. I can use it if I'm really broken out everywhere. I can be like, you know what, this moisturizer, it's not happening. I'm gonna use these two together because my breakout is intense, and I'm just going with these two products because I do need hydration. It's really gross, but I also still need some kind of acneic product. All right, so I keep one of these on hand at all times. All right. This is where it comes to when you like kind of level up. All right, so leveling up is I always keep masks on hand when I travel. So let's say you travel with all of your skincare. All right, you travel with every single thing you carry, and I literally do. Like these are just like the bonus products that I make sure that I travel with no matter what. Like these are like the extra bonus things I travel with that might not be my regular skincare routine on a daily basis. Because quite frankly, I travel with my skincare routine in little jars. But I travel with specialty masks with me always. The number one mask I travel with is some kind of basic hydration gel mask. Because let's say you are really dry. Let's say you've traveled and you're like, my skin is like paper right now. I ate something that I had an allergic reaction to. I used something, I went somewhere and I used something and my face got jacked up. I was on a plane and I'm like drier than the Sahara. You can throw this on, know that you can leave it to sit and your skin is going to suck it in and repair overnight on a plane. Be okay. You can use it as like a thicker hydration. You're going to be fine. So mine is, I use the Spell green tea hydration mask. You can leave it on overnight. You can use it as the hydration by itself. I love it. Next one is I use a hydrating mud mask. There are so many different mud masks in the world that people don't really understand that there are different kinds of mud masks. So there are drying mud masks and there are hydrating mud masks. There are detoxifying mud masks. So one of my favorite is Alexandria creates a Hungarian mud mask, and why I really love it is it's a powdered mud mask. So when I travel with it, I love it because it's not one of my gels. It's actually a powder. I can put it in like little things and it's a powder, and I don't have to worry about it as one of my gels. So it's one of my favorite things for that. I just put it in a little bag somewhere. I put it in a little tub and I can add liquid to it somewhere else and it's good to go. And this one you can use specifically in lots of different ways for detoxification, for healing, for getting rid of spots. It's good for bug bites and burns. It's good for so many things. I have a video specifically on this coming up soon because it's one of my favorite masks in the world. Though if you go to Alexandria Professional, Alexandria Pro on here, they have a bunch of videos on these. In fact, I might make a playlist of that. The next things I carry is I make sure I carry a sunscreen. I like to carry a powder sunscreen, which I use Jane Iredale. You can carry a tinted moisturizer as well for color. You can do that as well. Jane Iredale's are fantastic. And that's pretty much what I carry for skincare. Of course, I carry shampoo and conditioner and body wash and whatnot. But that is what I carry in my bag. If anybody wants to have any questions, please let me know. Post them in the comments. I'm always happy to talk to you about skincare. I love it. And I travel